customer concentration is one of the biggest things that we run into we just passed on one recently where it's like a big B to G component of it. And the representation was, well, all of these different government entities that we contract with, they're largely independent decision makers from each other. So they're not actually concentrated.
Yeah.
And further due diligence discovered they're like, actually, that's not that true. There is kind of a centralized budgeting process for these entities. And so there was a massive customer concentration risk that they were representing is not really there. Let's see. We've had a lot of it's around customer base because we're so focused there. We've had representations made about the degree of repeat customers where all the deal materials are saying like, oh, 80% of the customers are repeat customers. But when you dig into that, it might be 80% of the number of customers. But when you look at like by revenue, it's a whole bunch of tiny customers that were buying over and over again, but the big ones were new. And so it's like, okay, well, customers by revenue, only 25% are actually recurring. And that's a hugely different dynamic than 80. So it usually revolves around something that was represented as being consistent with our criteria up front that upon further investigation winds up being inconsistent.
Makes sense.
Also, we've had, I think, 2 transactions that have just fallen apart. The seller and the buyer, something happens, seller backs out, decides they're going to keep operating for a few years. Those things can happen completely independent of our diligence. And that's just kind of a cost of doing business is sometimes there's broken deals. Yeah. One of the benefits of our model, we don't put any capital at risk until closing. It's a big differentiator between us and search funds is sucks when there's a broken deal. That's a whole bunch of my time and energy and tears, but we don't lose anything when that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Those deal fees can add up with due diligence and attorneys and everything else. Interesting.